Hello everyone, Terrell here from Terrell Game Vlogs. So, the original goal was to record a societal discussion today, and I was going to use the recent Logan Paul situation as a justification to kind of go into a societal discussion. And then I realized that even if I were to do that, I wouldn't actually get through the fucking societal discussion. Because realistically, I just want to talk about it. I just didn't want it to be only about that, but realistically, that's just not going to happen. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to unfortunately talk about it in all of its glory. And we're just going to see what happens. This is going to be very vlog random style because this is what I want to do. So that's what we're going to do. So here's the thing. For those who don't know, the recent Logan Paul drama is that he is currently in Japan, or at least it has been in Japan the last few days, doing a bunch of vlogs, and they, unfortunately for him and for a lot of other people, he posted a vlog in which he filmed, he went to a famous suicide spot. Unfortunately, the fact that that's a tourist attraction should be a problem in itself, but that's a different story. There's a famous suicide spot in Japan. It's like a forest of some sort, and he and his friends walked, and probably his Japanese guide walked across the dead body. Logan filmed it, tried to blur out some of it, didn't do a great job from what I understand. Showed a corpse to millions of children and just whoever the fuck else watched the video. And then tried to make the video about, you know, suicide prevention and put links and charities in the description. And the video was trending on YouTube, and then Logan Paul took it down and it became this big media backlash because, oh my God, how dare you show corpses on YouTube, because that should be against YouTube terms of service. People are mad at Logan Paul, people are mad at YouTube, and it's just been a shitstorm. He's made I think he's done like an apology post and an apology video. So I wanted to kind of just address it, but not in the same way as other people, because a lot of people are doing the stereotypical, oh my God, how dare you show this corpse to children? How dare you? And look, I'm not really defending the action itself. I'm just going to make a point here. Because of my sense of humor and the kind of person I am and the way I was when I was younger, children being interested in corpses is not really shocking. Now, granted, I understand the point is kids didn't go to Logan Paul's channel to find corpses. That was shown to them and they watched it, although you have millions of people liking the video. Although I don't know if people understand the problem with the situation and entirely, because the problem I had with it is at its core is that when you start looking at it through Logan Paul's channel, the fact that he was being such a disrespectful asshole in Japan, period. If you go back and look at his other vlogs, he was misrepresenting Americans, pretty much showing his ass and doing essentially what he usually does, but in Japan, in a culture that, by the way, this shit isn't already, I just wanted to be stated, it's not like the shit he did is cool in America. Most people don't like the shit he does in America. If he were to do the same things in Japan in America that he did in Japan, which he probably has, it's not cool in America either. It's just that it's worse in Japan because you're not only representing yourself, you're representing your country, and you're in a culture where you don't understand how certain things are more offensive. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Why is it that Logan Paul doesn't get under fire until he does the absolute worst thing, when people should have been telling him in advance, stop being a dick in Japan? People, you know, it's funny how, and myself included, that no one gave a fuck until he crossed the line. Why is it you have to cross the line before someone wants to sit there and go, yo, maybe you should not do that? And it fucking baffles me that everyone wants to forget about the suicide, you know, the showing of a dead body and a fresh suicide, but no one, granted, it's not like no one's done it. There are other YouTube videos that have addressed it now. But why is it that the majority of the issue isn't, well, he wasn't acting right in Japan to begin with? And you're also talking about a culture, about Americans, which is weird the fuck to say, but a lot of Americans are desensitized to murder, which, ironically enough, is still very much a big issue in Japan. Like, I mean, for God's sakes, people don't even realize this. Japanese games get censored like a motherfucker in Japan. You can't show blood or any of that shit in Japanese games. A lot of Japanese games are censored. But Americans are so desensitized to death and murder that a lot of this shit doesn't mean as much. And to me, Logan Paul is just a product of our society. That's what we fucking do. We will show children murder all the time. Movies, televisions, and then depending on the cartoons, in certain cartoons, depending on how up you're late at night, you will see the most disgusting, disturbing shit on public television. And then all of a sudden, people want to act like, why is this a thing? Why was this allowed? Because, ironically enough, death sells. If it exists, you can make money off of it. I feel like that's an internet rule, or just a rule in life in general. It's deplorable that you showed a dead body on camera, but the thing is that people have been looking at dead bodies on YouTube for the longest. Not even people who have like psychological problems. It's just inherent curiosity. I mean, it's funny how many people die on a daily basis, and no one's really seen corpses. Or not as many people as you would think have seen corpses. Although we like to give people the illusion of death through movies and television. And obviously, part of this goes into the role of the parents of these children who are allowing them to watch Logan Paul. But to be fair, Logan Paul, for the most part, has always been viewed as family friendly. So even on his mindset, it doesn't make any fucking sense to do this shit. What the fuck is the point of showing a corpse? Well, because you know it gets views. He wasn't, and the thing is that that's how YouTube has been. YouTube has been, unfortunately, over these last few years, more and more about pushing the envelope. How much shit can you say, lie, or show before you get in trouble? Which is why this has gotten to the point that it's at now. I mean, for God's sakes, we had it for years where people were doing prank videos, doing all sorts of fucked up shit, just on fake prank videos. Because people kept trying to push that button, which was going to get into the societal discussion aspect, which is that America, unfortunately, has become a country that is more focused on entertainment than anything else. Which means at a certain point, I would probably say we are the culture, and I'm not going to say we're the only culture, but we are one of the main cultures who will leave everything at the fucking door, including our morality and dignity, to go do something that is deplorable as fuck. And luckily, and it's only these few moments, these rare moments, mind you, where someone gets backlash for doing something heinous that reminds me, oh, that's right, we're not all like that. But a lot of us are. A lot of us will put a lot of shit at the front door and go sell our bodies off to the fucking devil. Not everybody, but a lot of people would fucking do that. And that's because the society promotes a very repetitious feeling of self-worth correlating to views and clicks and attention. Americans are essentially attention whores, and we're not the only ones who are, but we are like the embodiment of an attention whore. And unfortunately, Logan, being a young millennial white dude in another culture doing exactly what you would think a stereotypical ignorant person from another country would do, doesn't really help the case, but it also, to me, just proves the point. This has always been a problem. And it will continue to be a problem, because this is what we promote. We're the ones who are obsessed with celebrities in sports, movies, television, music, whatever the fuck you name it. Why do you think American stars and singers are popular as fucking other countries? Because we're the ones who promote that and propagate that fucking obsession with me, shine the light on me, give me the microphone, give me a fucking beat to rap on and shit. Like, we're the ones who push that message. And YouTube is just an Americanization, like, it's just not Americanization, the proof of our Americanization. Like, it's the result of it. The YouTube will promote things that are either really weird, really disgusting, really ridiculous. American, and that's kind of the problem with American humor in general, that American humor is all about being loud, disgusting, and disturbing, because that's what gets people's attention, because apparently it's so crazy, especially if you're someone like me who watches, like, entertainment from other countries and shit, like, go watch, like, a British show, or go watch, especially those shows that, like, come on American television and also have, like, the original UK version or European version. If you've noticed the way they're structured and changed, like, For some reason, I've been going back and watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares. It's crazy how different that show is in comparison to America as it is to the UK version, where the UK version doesn't have all the fucking random sound effects in the background, doesn't have the music constantly playing, doesn't really, like, there are dead moments in the UK version of Kitchen Nightmares. And I know that's not the best example, but I'm trying to make a point here. There are a lot of dead moments in that show. And that's just in British humor in general. The quiet, dead moments. Americans, we apparently gotta have everything that has some type of noise in it, which is why jump cuts work so well. We are constantly trying to, like... Silence is apparently deaf to a lot of American comedy. You can't have these quiet, subtle moments. Because although and potentially they could be just as funny, a lot of people don't fucking have the attention span to deal with that shit. Which is why you have a lot of YouTubers who go out of their way to make everything have background music in it, jump cuts everywhere, just constantly keeping that fast, erratic pace going. Because that's what we do. Honestly, if anything, like the Logan Paul situation isn't really surprising to me that someone went and showed a dead body on the internet. It's not even really surprising that Logan Paul himself is the one who do it. None of this shit is surprising to me. It just trips me out that as Americans, we don't seem to want to fix a problem until it's gone out of control. Because this has been a problem building for years. YouTube has had this problem with creators taking it further and further and further to the point where something that has technically been on YouTube for years. You could technically find videos of really disgusting and porn and well, I say porn. Porn is like just explicit shit. But you can find pretty much anything on YouTube back in like the early, in YouTube's early days. And corpses was one of them. I remember we were on, I think it was back when I was still doing like the anime community stuff and we were on Skype all the fucking time around like 2007, 2008. You could go on YouTube and find videos of not only sex, full movies, but fucking just dead bodies and shit. Just full on like people finding dead bodies in the woods and filming the shit. Literally, we just come full circle. The thing that's been on YouTube since the beginning has now made it to the mainstream, and now it's a problem, even though it had been a problem and nobody did anything to fix it. Because YouTube has an algorithm that promotes fuckery, which is part of the reason why I think they've been pushing towards the, well, we've had this huge push of like TV show and movie personalities, like more professional personalities. Because YouTubers, although they can make really good creative content, unfortunately, a good chunk of the YouTube community is all about pushing that barrier because they want to get their name and face on the front page to become the next Markiplier or PewDiePie or whoever the fuck is popular nowadays. Because I don't fucking know. and Logan Paul's little stunt is just showing, okay, we're not ready for it. We will be in a few years. Like I would not be surprised that if eventually this is just commonplace. Because some of the shit now that happens now is fucked up. It's still considered commonplace. Granted, it's a good feeling to realize that we at least have these moments to remind me that, oh, we're not there yet, and I'm hoping we actually do have some pushback on this type of fuckery. Because this is fuckery. You misrepresent, you disrespected a culture. Fuck the suicide, because granted that is a problem, but I think that's a human problem in itself. Logan Paul's disrespect to Japan, period, was offensive to me. Let alone the suicide. That was just like the cherry on the shit sundae at that point. I hate the fact that it was the suicide that had to be like, okay, now it's a problem. Everybody didn't want to fucking say anything about him acting like a fucking asshole in Japan, but now it's a problem because of the dead body. That bothers me in its own right. The dead body in itself is just like, Jesus. But like I said, it's our obsession with being famous and the attention. It's so easy for an individual to become famous for 15 seconds, metaphorically, that people will do whatever the fuck it takes to do that. That's when you had people doing that weird and bizarre shit, like eating, I forget what was his name, Mr. Shoe Nice, I think is what his name, the dude that was known for doing like all the reply videos and these really ridiculous eating videos where he was eating like anything and everything. or just like these super major challenges that obviously hurt you, but it was something everyone wanted to watch. Because unfortunately, as I've said before, and I'll end the video on this, we as people have become more and more obsessed with getting attention. YouTube in itself as a site has proven that we all want some sort of attention. Obviously, some of us did it just to find people, to have some type of friends and community. I'm not saying it's the only reason, but as time has gone on, more and more people become more and more obsessed with becoming that guy or girl who's famous, even if it is for that 15 seconds, because some people just need to feel like they're worth something, and some people don't get that feeling unless they're seen, unless they're talked about. And from what I've heard, Logan Paul gained more subscribers out of this. Wanna know why? Because some people don't give it. Because like I said, we've desensitized ourselves to death, and two, because some people just want to see the shit. Like some people are like, it's the most offensive and it's like one of the most disgusting things you can do, which I agree. Doesn't mean people don't care about seeing it though. Like people think the 6,000 likes are just from children who just like Logan Paul. No, some of those likes are just from individuals who wanted to see a fucking dead body. Now, did they wake up that morning looking for a dead body? No, but Logan Paul had it on the feed. Why the fuck not? This thing, then you got a whole bunch of fucking YouTubers out here acting like it's the most deplorable thing, when most of us have had those kind of moments. Not all of us. I don't sit here and say every YouTuber is a fucking liar. But I'm gonna say there's a good chunk of us who've had these weird, dark moments. It just kind of depends on the kind of person you are. Like I said, I went through that phase when I was in high school. Not like I was obsessed with murder. Just, you know, hey, look, someone had a link to a video where somebody showed a dead body. I hate it because this video is going to be very mixed in reviews because people are going to think I'm a very disturbed and warped individual. But I'm just being real about it. I'm not going to get on my fucking high horse and pretend like this is what we need to do. It's like this is something that's inherently shocking and disgusting. We've been going in this direction for years, and people now want to act like it's a problem. I'm happy that people think it's a problem. I'm just sad that it took the worst to happen for it to become a problem. People should have been telling Logan Paul before we even got to that video to stop being an ass. And some people did, and some people didn't. But it's a really complicated situation in life. Life in itself is complicated. I can't worry about every individual getting their shit together. Which is why I'm happy that moments like these happen. Because A, people are going to make money off of this. That's the other thing I find funny. People want to sit here and talk about, on their high horse, talking about, don't film suicide for views, while I make a video blasting you about it to get money and for views. Okay, so yeah, technically you're the better person because you don't agree with what he did, but you're over here raking in money from his mistake. Does that really make you that much of a better person? Because you wouldn't film the suicide, but you definitely will take advantage of the person who did film the suicide. And like I said, it's the same thing with me. It's not like I'm any fucking different. It's not like this video is not going to be monetized or something. I'm just saying. Some people need to get off their fucking high horse and be fair and be real about the situation. This isn't really that shocking. It's just more of a... I'm more shocked that people are mad about it than anything else because, like I said, we've been going in this direction. It wouldn't surprise me that if in the next 10 years, this isn't even a big deal anymore. Because I thought the sex shit was offensive, and that became not a big deal. The prank shit was offensive. Now that's not really that big of a deal anymore either. We're just going to start breaking down every single thing that should be offensive and disturbing, and we'll just become desensitized to it all. So, happy trails for going in that direction. This video's going to be fucking interesting. I'm curious, though. I like to put out something that's different and be real about it. I'm not going to fucking lie to you. So, yeah. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing the ridiculousness that comes from this video, because I can only imagine the response. So, lost the game for your boy Terrell. Later days. Because I like the weekenders. actual societal discussion probably coming later this week.